realtor with Fabulous Homes Colorado, powered by Keller Williams Partners.
And I'm Melanie Corona, the team director for Fabulous Homes Colorado.
And I'm Phil Wynkoop with Caliber Home Loans.
And this is Fabulous Neighbors of Colorado,
where we highlight all local businesses and entrepreneurs.
And today we're at Mandy's house, Health Insurance Consultations, Colorado, right? Mandy, if you could just start us out with really how you got your start with health insurance, what you do, and what's your business all about? Yeah.
Sure. I started about 3.5 years ago, and at that time I was in education, and so I was a trainer. I worked at PPCC, and I was educating educators. So in doing that, one of the most important things when you're teaching other people about children is that the parents are the most important teachers to that child. And one of the things I was finding is I was never home. So I said, there needs to be a change. I need to make a change in my life. And I loved what I did, but I needed to be home to be with my kids more. And so not even a week later, I ran into an old friend as I was taking my child to his tutoring, and he said, oh, this is what I'm doing right now. You should think about this. And I thought, nope, I'm in education. That's what I do. That's what I know how to do. But in thinking about it more, I thought, well, why can't I? And so here we are.
Very cool.
3.5 years later, looking into health insurance. And so I primarily started working for one company, but really what I learned about myself and how I do business is that I'm a consultant. I am all about educating others in health insurance, what they should look for, some things that they may not know, and teach them a few things in the process. So I really enjoy teaching people some things that they may not know about. And in doing so, I've created a living for myself.
Very cool. Well, health insurance is so confusing. And so what does a typical consultation look like? Do you do it on the phone, or do you meet them in person, online, all of the above?
Typically it starts with a phone call.
Okay.
I don't like to get into too much information on the phone because a lot of information gets lost and it gets very confusing. So my typical consultation is kneecap to kneecap. So we're sitting typically at a kitchen table or at a coffee shop or at somebody's workplace, wherever the client is most comfortable is where we are going to meet.
Oh, that's great.
I come to them. So I work all of Colorado, so that's why we're Health Insurance Consultations Colorado.
Nice.
I stay pretty local generally, but I do travel quite a bit.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mandy, what exactly is the ACA?
The Affordable Care Act. So, its nickname, which has been called Obamacare, but it's the Affordable Care Act is the name of that. So the Affordable Care Act, it was signed in 2010 and it was really put into place in 2014. The Affordable Care Act it's like a one-size-fits-all plan. And in these plans have these things called essential benefits, and they have to be in every single plan. It doesn't matter who you are.
Okay.
These plans range from bronze all the way to platinum, and they entail different co-insurances. So co-insurance is how much you pay versus how much the insurance company pays, okay, after your deductible. So they have a variety of different co-insurances and a variety of different deductibles. A couple of things about the ACA that makes it what it is that now people that have pretty significant pre-existing conditions can now get on the same plan as everybody else at the same price.
Oh,
no medical questions are asked. Another part of the ACA that I feel is pretty important is that people that didn't qualify for Medicaid, which is the financially based government insurance, people that don't qualify financially for that could now get onto another plan at a subsidized rate.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So people that couldn't afford insurance before could now do so via subsidies. And so that's a couple of things with the Affordable Care Act that's important to note. As we have been moving along in the last few years with the Affordable Care Act, a lot of people have seen price increases, and that's been pretty significant for a lot of middle Americans that are paying full price for their plans. And so there's a lot of options out there, and so that's why during a consultation we'll definitely talk about the Affordable Care Act. That's one of the first things we talk about. If people have looked at it, are you going to get a subsidy? Is that important to you? But then we also look at other options that are available.
That makes sense. And regarding other options that are available, what else is out there? I know, at least my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that now we no longer are penalized if we don't have health insurance, and we have the option of just doing like disaster type insurance.
Oh.
So there's a couple of things in that are important to note. A lot of people, months ago said, Trump took away the penalty. There's no more penalty. Well, that's sort of true.
Okay.
It is for the coming year. And so this coming year, not for this previous year
Gotcha.
of health insurance, it's for this coming year.
Okay.
And the penalty was not gotten rid of. The
Okay.
penalty was set at $0. So people that were going to be penalized, because not everybody's penalized, we can talk about that in a second. There's 14 exemptions to that penalty.
Oh my
If
gosh.
you can find all of those at healthcare.gov. So if you're interested
Wow.
in looking at what those 14 exemptions are, you can find those online, healthcare.gov. They're listed out there for you. So the penalty was set at 0. So that means that penalty, it's easy to go up and down. It can go either way. So it's important to look at your insurance every year, do a review to see where you're at, to see if there was going to be a penalty for not having that compliant insurance. Are you going to be penalized? Is that penalty going to be there? But for this next year, you're right that it's set at 0, but there's still a penalty for not having compliant health insurance, but it's just not a monetary amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's still against the rules, but it's not really going to cost you anything out of pocket this time around.
That's
but
correct.
that could change.
That's correct.
Got it. Understood.
That's interesting. And so you had mentioned revisit. So should we revisit our health insurance every year to make sure it's covering us adequately in case there's a change if, somebody falls ill or something were to happen?
Yeah.
And who else should call you for a consultation?
So that's a couple of great questions. The first part of that, I say do a review every year.
Okay.
And so that's what I tell my clients. Call me when that year time frame comes up. Let's talk about what worked well for your insurance. What did not work well? What did you not like? What changes can we make based on what is your budget? So the whole time, whether it's a review, whether it's a normal, beginning consultation, we are balancing affordability and peace of mind. Keeping those in mind, because some people's peace of mind is they want to spend a lot because that's what gives them peace of mind. Other people, they just want the big stuff covered and they're willing to pay cash for the rest. So I'd say every year a review.
Okay.
Take a look at where you're at with your insurance, what you like, what did you not like, and make changes.
That makes sense.
And we're at the time now during the open enrollment time. I'm sure everybody's heard of this open enrollment time. That's for Affordable Care Act plans. If you're not within the Affordable Care Act, you can make changes at any time of the year. But the Affordable Care Act, the general enrollment time is the November 1st. I think it goes through January 15th
Okay.
of this year.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And what was your second part of your
Who
question?
should call you
Who
for
should
a
call me? I'm like, there was a
consultation?
second part.
You got it. You got it.
There's quite a few people that should be calling for a consultation. And the great part and what makes me different is that I am not a pressure salesman. I do not, sit down and say, hey, you have to get something after we meet. If we feel like the best place for you is what you already have, I'm going to tell you that.
That's great.
And so I think everybody needs a consultation, especially if they don't understand what they have. Group insurance is a great example of that, where people that do have group insurance just think, well, I have group insurance, so that must be the best thing out there. It's not always. And sometimes it's great for the person that does have the group insurance to keep that group insurance for them, but then the rest of the family, the minute that you add them on, it goes through the roof.
Yes.
And so it might make sense to break up the family a little bit to, insure the family over here, but keep, mom or dad or whoever has the group insurance on their own insurance. And so it just depends on a lot of different factors, but there's a lot to consider when you're considering health insurance. So
Sure.
just having somebody that kind of knows what's out there for you to look at, whether it's within the Affordable Care Act, whether it's outside of the Affordable Care Act, those are important things to think about.
Right. It's not one size fits all and tailor it to your specific family. That's right to know.
Correct.
Very interesting.
Correct.
And Mandy, how do we reach you if someone wants to have a consultation? Do they visit your Facebook page and
Yes.
request an appointment there? Or?
That's a great question. So a lot of people find me via Facebook, which is great. It's been a great place for me to be. And so it's a great place that I can shed some light for people, whether it's just in a thread or if you can visit my page. It's Mandy Copeland, Health Insurance Consultations, Colorado. On there is my cell phone number, but we can gladly give it out on this video as well. So I would say phone number, email, or on Facebook is a great way to contact me.
And what days of the week can we reach out to you?
Any day.
You're awesome.
Yeah, any day. I might not answer right away, but I'll certainly get voicemails. I'll certainly get emails.
Not when the Broncos are playing.
Speaking of, we gotta wrap this up. We'll get back to it again. Honestly though, thank you so much, Mandy. I'm really one of those people that you're talking about who would need a consultation. I know, for example, I have health insurance through my company, but I think I might be able to get it cheaper for the rest of my family.
Yeah.
If anybody would like a consultation with Mandy, please drop your information below if you want us to give you a call, or we'll have all of our contact information below as well.
Yes, you can call Mandy directly.
Yeah. And thank you. This is Fabulous Homes Colorado, and we'll see you next time.
Remember who to call for all of your fabulous real estate and lending needs.
Have a fabulous day.
Thank you.